Hi, my friend CA here, and on Tuesdays we talk about toys and collectibles, and I'm going to talk about one of my favorites, Haunted Mansion. On a recent trip to Disney World, I couldn't resist grabbing this Haunted Mansion handbag. Perfect as a camera bag. But I have something else in here that I wanted to share with you. With Haunted Mansion's 50th anniversary, Funko Pop released a number of collectible pops, and I wanted to share with you what I have in this bag. I love this set. So this is the opera singer from the graveyard scene. All the Haunted Mansion pops, they have sort of that blue color that makes them eerie, ghost-like. The one thing that I look at, I think sort of funny is, but I don't really know how Funko could have fixed it, is how her mouth is shown. Because of her dress, there's a little flare at the bottom, so it's enough to give her a base. She can stand without any issues. And I see her, I can hear her in the graveyard singing. Since you're in the graveyard, it makes sense. We have the mummy drinking tea. It's got that, you know, the look, the Funko Pop look with the big eyes, but I love the texture of the wrap. But even down, if you look at the body, you just see all of the lines on it, the mitt wrapped hands, the edging on the coffin, and there's more from the mansion. You can't have a pop without having Constance Hatchaway. You know, she is the woman who takes her wedding vows very seriously till death do you part. And I love the attic scene when you're going through the ride and you pass sort of almost vignettes in the attic of the different time periods. In each of the pictures there is a picture, like a wedding picture of her and her new husband. As your doom buggy moves by, you see the groom's head disappears. So think of it like a lenticular, like they're there and she's all happy, and then they go and she's still happy, but his head is gone. And she's also the woman when you're leaving the ride. She's this little spirit in the corner and she invites you to come back. Now she too has a flared skirt on it, but they do give you a base. I think it's because with her head in this veil, she'd be a little heavy. Again, that sort of washed blue treatment. I believe Little Mermaid had a veil on it and they kind of did it in pieces, so there's this like really awkward line between the veil. But this is one solid piece which really looks great. MTK pointed out, if you look really closely, it almost has this frosted look to give it like a lace pattern for her wedding dress. Funko didn't have to do, but it really does add to the look. Hurry back! You can hear her voice. Another staple in Haunted Mansion, if you were to make a pop of, no surprise, Madame Leota. That whole seance room with the floating head. If somebody to recall like what are the main areas and who are the main characters, she is definitely one that comes to mind. But she is great. The detail of the tablecloth, and then the layers of sort of the fringe underneath the tablecloth you can imagine in the seance room sitting at the table. And then these candles, melted candles to the side, and then elevating this crystal ball. But there's more sort of color in the base of this pop, unlike the other sort of Haunted Mansion. Her spirit part is again sort of that milky blue. You get this sense of this flowing hair in the crystal ball, like it is sort of this spirit thing. One of my favorites of the pop collection. Now crystal ball would be an amazing 10-inch pop, I think. You just imagine putting that big crystal ball, putting it as a centerpiece on your table would be fabulous. So if you look at the back of the box, it does has an indication on there. These are pops for the 50th anniversary, and they have sort of the treatment I like on the side as well as the back with that Haunted Mansion wallpaper, and then talking about the 4 pops in that collection. But there is another one that I have that is a Hot Topic exclusive, and again from the graveyard. the Merry Minstrel. I believe this is the spirit that plays the music for the opera singer to sing to. But similar to Constance Hatchaway, his outfit is more of that clear, translucent-y ice treatment. But because his hands are more translucent as he's a ghost, you can see elements of the harp through his fingers, which I think is a really fun touch. And while we were specifically looking for the pops to add to the collection, really excited about all the versions of it, we did come across another fun Haunted Mansion Funko product at Hot Topic. I'm talking about this journal or agenda, or I don't know what you call it. So this vinyl covered book. If you were to open up, look at the whole cover. On the back it is sort of the Haunted Mansion. I really like that it's carried across like that. You can see Spirit peeking over here, the Haunted Mansion at the top, and then of course the hitchhiking ghosts on the front. But then across the top, you've got the singing busts and even the gentleman that has the broken head. And these each mark a section. So they're built into this wallpaper divider right at the top, this vinyl piece. The wallpaper is still there, though there are some sort of color variations. Love those. Actually, I just realized this. They have this inside sheet and they're actually stickers. I just noticed it now. I just thought it was a print, but these are stickers. The lined pages, on the front page, you'll have the gargoyle lantern or candles. And then on the flip side of that, you will have the little bat from the railings. Not something that we were looking for, but couldn't resist. So those are the 4 main pops in the 50th anniversary, plus the 1 Hot Topic exclusive. Love all of them. But what if we go a little smaller? Okay, change of plans. I had thought I would cover all of the Haunted Mansion pops that I picked up, but looking at the length of this particular video, because perhaps I'm just a little too talkative, I thought this was going to go on far too long. So I'm going to cut this here, focusing on these pops, and I will add a second video talking about the additional Haunted Mansion pops and items that I picked up. You can find me here on Tuesdays talking about toys and collectibles. If you like this content, like to see more content like it, be sure to give it a little thumbs up. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified as more content like this is added. Like the second video where I'll share the additional Haunted Mansion items that I found. And until next time, one to beam out. Woo!